In recent years, the British comedian Hugh Laurie has become a huge success in America in his role as the curmudgeonly Dr. House. Funnily enough, the show's never become a hit in his home country, and his former comic partner Stephen Fry once said that he's sometimes asked in the UK whatever became of that Laurie bloke in Fry and Laurie. The versatile Hugh Laurie has now turned his hand to a new challenge, releasing a blues album called Let Them Talk, on which he plays piano and guitar and also sings. Hugh Laurie joined me earlier from London. Hugh Laurie, thank you very much for joining us.
It's good to be here, thank you.
You're an award-winning actor, a comedian, a highly accomplished musician, a champion rower, a writer, a director, the face of L'Oreal. You're an officer of the Order of the British Empire. Please, can you tell me that you're bad at cooking or pathologically untidy or something so I can feel a bit better about myself?
No, I cook like an angel. No, I don't. I can't cook at all. I can't cook at all. And I also, by the way, I don't even recognise the person you just described. That sounds like a list of things that I... But I'm a jack of all trades, is what I am. A jack of all trades. And I think that's a respectable thing to aim for. We can't all be... We can't all be David Beckham. Sometimes even David Beckham can't be David Beckham.
I read an article recently and it said that when you and Stephen Fry were younger, you were asked whose career you'd like to emulate. Fry said Alan Bennett, and you said a cross between Peter Ustinov and Clint Eastwood, perhaps with a dash of Mick Jagger. I was wondering, with the CD that you've just now released, if that's the dash of Mick Jagger finally coming in?
No, that's the Peter Ustinov. I sing like Peter Ustinov. And I play the piano. Actually, no, Clint Eastwood does play the piano and plays very well. It seems to me that I was cheating in my answer because the whole point was to pick on one person, and there was I trying to get three people in one. Actually, I think the Mick Jagger thing was incorrect. I don't think I ever really had the sort of strutting front man. I don't think I could ever pull off. I have great admiration for it, for people who can do that, who want to be at the front of the stage and you know, cavorting. But it's not quite my thing. Where
did the love of the blues come in from?
I think it's such a magical, inexplicable thing that I think it's probably better not to try and analyse it too much. But I just know that the very first blues song I heard, it was as if a big hand had come out of the radio and just grabbed me by the throat, and it hasn't let go.
Sometimes I think my baby's too good to die. Sometimes I think she should be buried alive.
The writer Clive James once wrote about the difficulty of escaping, as he put it, the shackles of reputation, that once you're a public figure and that people see you a particular way, it can be hard to break out of that and do something different. But you really seem throughout your career to have been able to transgress that. How do you think that is?
Well, my secret was never to do anything so well that you got trapped in it. You know, I felt when I was starting out as a comedian or as an actor, you know, I looked around and I could see, obviously, that you know, Kenneth Branagh was standing up there and doing Shakespeare incredibly well. I was never going to be able to be, you know, to outdo him at that. And there was Rick Mayall doing stand-up comedy incredibly well. I couldn't, you know, so that was my secret. My secret was just to sort of hover just in, just underneath that level, and never excel too spectacularly in any one area. That's my secret. I'm giving it away now. That was my strategy.
Everyone will be trying to do it now.
Right? See, you see.
I recently finished Stephen Fry's latest memoir, and he writes about when you guys were starting out, as you've just alluded to. And one of the things that's clear is that the BBC and Granada TV pretty much gave you guys this incredible opportunity where they said, can we get you on board and you pretty much just develop what you like for us. Do you think that if you were starting out in TV today that you'd be given that sort of leeway?
No, absolutely not. We were incredibly lucky to arrive when we did on the scene, and it really was a scene, actually, if ever there was. But it was about timing. So much of life is about timing, and therefore, really what I mean is just good fortune, and we were incredibly lucky, and would never have a chance like that now. I think it would be a completely different story now.
Your ass is mine, mister. The day you joined this man's army, you signed your ass over to me.
Oh, I get it, sir.
Oh, you do?
This guy wants a piece of your ass, and you're thinking that being as my ass is yours, maybe you could give him a piece of my ass as a way of saving your ass.
Jay, Jacobson.
Sir?
Shut your ass. Nobody likes a smart aleck.
What's changed about the TV industry now that people aren't given that sort of a freedom, I suppose?
Well, I think that the audience has so fragmented now. You know, when we were doing the P.G. Wodehouse stories, Jeeves and Wooster, for example, we would have 10 million people would watch the show, and that wasn't even considered an especially, you know, a gigantic hit. And it was successful, but not massive. Now, if you can get 2 million people to watch a show, you're enormous. Because the audience is so fragmented that therefore there isn't as much money to devote to particular things. People don't feel the inclination to experiment in quite the same way. They don't have the opportunity to experiment. And you know, for that reason, we were just so lucky at that particular time.
Are you given much leeway in the production of House to experiment at all? Do you improvise much on air, for example?
Yes, it's all me, really. They just come up with a piece of paper saying, "Patient's ill," and I just sort of take it from there.
It's lucky that you've got so many medical terms at the top of your head that you just throw out there.
A lot of them are made up, actually. It's just a jumble of Latin and Greek syllables. No, the scripts are pretty much syllable perfect. And I'm not just saying that. They really are. They take weeks, if not months, over these scripts. And every time I suggest, it's rather like a chess game. Everybody say, "Oh, well, what about if we move the knight?" And they go, "Yes, no, we tried that." And if you move the knight there, then the bishop takes, and you go, "Oh, okay, all right." So every time I suggest, you know, what about this line or this joke or this idea, they say, "Yeah, then we tried that." And it affects something else, and we can't do it. So I'm more than content to, that is my, although I can't read music, I can read words, and I sight read House. There's very little improvisation. I go where I'm pointed. Makes me sound like an idiot, but that's because I am one.
12:52 p.m. Dr. House checks in. Please write that down. Do you have cable TV here somewhere? General Hospital starts in 8 minutes.
No TV, but we've got patients.
Can't you give out the aspirin yourself? I'll do
I
paperwork.
made sure your first case was an interesting one.
Cough just won't go away. Runny nose looks a funny color.
Patient admitted complaining of back spasms.
I think I read about something like that in the New England
Patient
Journal
is
of Medicine.
orange.
The color?
No, the fruit.
How do Americans take your self-deprecation? At face value, or do they get it?
No, Americans, it must be said, don't quite understand the English fetish for self-deprecation, and quite rightly. They're a little bit baffled by it. And so you have to sort of keep it in check, because you can see them very rapidly lose interest. Because if you don't think you're worth talking to, then they don't either. So they don't find it charming, nor should they. Now look at that. I'm being self-deprecating about self-deprecation. That's crazy.
Hugh Laurie, thanks so much for making time to speak to us tonight.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you.